All right, guys, let's take a look at these Ernst Benz watches. So big thanks to Hannah over at Ernst Benz and also Chris from the Watch Lounge. I'll put a link to the websites down below. Check them out if you will. And let's get into this. I'm going to treat this like I do all my watch videos, although I'm definitely out of my element on these because you guys know that I like chronographs, but I'm not really drawn to chronographs. Well, that's their primary watches in this lineup. And that's why they sent over these. You have a 40, a 44, and a 47 millimeter. They are known for making the larger watches. So I looked at it from a different point of view, and that's how we're going to talk about it. So let's start off with the big dog. Let's start off with the 47 because really, I mean, that is where this brand actually tends to live. It lives in the larger watches. 47s and 44s are the norm, and occasionally you can run across some 40 millimeter ones, which I think are great. So are the 44s, really. 47, definitely a reach for me. But for the people out there that have really large wrist or just prefer large watches, then this could be a brand that you could check out. Also, if your budget permits it, because these are not inexpensive. This one retails for $7,225. So what do you get for that? You get an automatic chronograph with a display case back, as you can see. They're using modified value 7751 movements. You can see it's, oh, let's get into the size of this first before we talk about the rest of that. This is a 47 millimeter by 55 and a half. That's right, 55 and a half. You got to balance it out. 47's big, so you have to go larger than that 50. 16 millimeter thick to that double domed sapphire crystal, 22 millimeter lug width, and a 9 millimeter crown. Excellent traction on that, very easy to manipulate and wind up. And as you can see, once we get this going, you have a running seconds. You have a 24 hours, so basically an AM or PM, so you know which you're in, if you're in AM or PM. You have hour and minute, you have a pointer date, you have your day, and then you have your month, you have a lunar phase as well. That's a lot going on. So let's adjust some stuff here. So let's pop that out. I want to make sure I'm in AM, so we're going to go all the way around. And we're going to get into the AM, into some safe zones. I usually just go AM, 6 AM, and then I know I can start fiddling with stuff. All right, so now we're going to do a couple things. The first position, you would cycle your pointer date, right? So we're going to go ahead and cycle that. But if you look, boom, it just jumped your month. So now we're in the correct month. This is February 17th, I think. So we're going to go all the way down to 17 for the pointer date. And then it's not Thursday, it's actually Wednesday. So take a toothpick and you can push on this right here and you can adjust your day on that top section. You can see it cycling through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, so we're good there. Now we can adjust the time. Honestly, guys, I don't know how to adjust the lunar phase. And this is a 12-hour chronograph as well. And the time is, we're just going to use that time back there. It's 5:25. So we're going to go all the way around to the PM. And we are at 5:25. And you also notice it does hack the seconds. So then you can get that started. So now we have our month, our day, and our date. And we have the AM, PM correct. So, and we have enough power on the wind that we can go ahead and start that chronograph. And you can hear that nice snap of the Valjoux 775 series. And you can see the yellow chronograph hand begin its track. And then, like I said, this is a 12 hour, so as that cycles around, you'll start to get some register on that lower subdial there. So with this layout, with the 7750, it normally looks unbalanced. The way they balance it out is they put all their logoing off over here by the 3. With a 47, you have tons of real estate. You can still do that, but somehow they were able to manage that same sort of balance. Even on a 40, the main thing it does, it just really cuts into those indices, whereas on a 47, you just have that real estate. It's not going to cut into it. Even on the 44, it doesn't really cut into it. So I kind of think the 44 might be the sweet spot for the dial balance layout, even though a 47 just works. This one is called the GC10311, and it's in the traditional lineup. So like I said, I'm just going to put the link to the main website, and we're going to cycle through these. So I will say the leather strap on this is actually kind of short for being a 47. But here is the 47 by 55.5 on my 7 1/4 wrist. Can I wear it? Sure, I could wear it. I could wear it no problem. Would I? No, I don't think I would wear a 47 millimeter, but it is doable, and I know there's a lot of people that like it and do it. So, you know, you look at the Panerai crowd and you look at some other luxury watches, they will do the larger watches. Also, when I was looking up this brand, the other thing I noticed is they seem like they were way more relevant. 9 to 6 years ago, all the videos, that's when all the videos were posted of this brand, and a lot of them focused around like chefs or Food Network chefs, Bobby Flay, Mario Batali, and those type of characters. And that is where all their marketing was put. So I think that's very cool that they have that tie with their history. Where are they today? Quite frankly, I don't know. I think it's pretty wild that Hanna reached out to us, or no, Chris worked this deal. I think Chris worked this deal with somebody, I forget his name, and set this all up. So it's really cool that they're understanding the relevancy of modern media, YouTube and stuff like that, and they're reaching out to a broader client base, you know. Now, most people buying this watch are probably not watching this video, so we'll see how this plays out. So I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on that. All right, let's check out the 44 millimeter here. So this one is, I measured it actually like 43 3/4, so we'll still call it a 44. 52 millimeter lug to lug. You can see full polished cases on these. 16 millimeter thick is still the case on this one with this double dome sapphire, 22 millimeter, and then an 8 millimeter crown. So just a little bit of a downsize there. You can see smaller Arabics, and you can see the balance on the dial. I think the 44 is the sweet spot. Now this one's called the officer line. So you can see this one's got a lot more dressy going on. Look at the beautiful gold outlining on all the handset and the indices. Even the attention to the detail, all three of these actually have it. But look at the moon phase. The lunar phase is all gilded out. And the subdials are actually discreetly circled with whether the polished or the gold color on this one. And it is just a beautiful dial. And again, you have the display case back. So if you wanted to push the chronograph and get it going, you can actually see it happening. So you can actually see it actually engage there. It's just a beautiful thing. There's so much going on this one. Now this one's not set up like I just did the other one, but just a beautiful, beautiful setup. All right, let's zoom back out on this one. Let's do a wrist shot on this one. You can see more of a, I think a crocodile or something leather strap on this one. So you can see the 44 definitely works on my wrist. I'm still unsure. I think I really like the gold tones and everything of this, because if I'm going to go like full polished case and full dress style like that, then I kind of like the gold tones to it. Like when it catches the light, it's just beautiful. So I don't know if I could do the 44 or not. Maybe the 40. Let's check out the 40. Let's get this off wrist. If I can. These come in really nice display boxes and everything too. And actually, Hanna sent over a little bit of swag for me. I'm wearing one of the hats right now. All right, so let's check out the 40 millimeter. And I love, again, now we're going back to the traditional line, they call it, where you have the really fun pop of color, the green, still have the cathedral hands, and just, it's more playful. So if we zoom in on this one, we'll take a closer look and then we'll talk about the measurements. So I think the traditional lineup is probably going to be more of the sporty lineup. And maybe in the future they can loan over they do make just a regular three-handed watch. Again, we can get that going. They do make a regular three-handed day date, I think using the ETA 2836. I would maybe like to see that because I think that's offered in a 40 and a 44. So I'll talk to Hanna and maybe I can check those out. So this one is a 40 millimeter by 48 and then 15.5. So a little bit thinner than those, but still pretty thick. You got a lot of going on there with all those complications. You're going to have a thicker watch. A 20mm lug width and a nicely done 7mm crown. So let's see what the 40mm looks like on wrist. These all of these chronographs are 50-meter water resist. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? I know I really trend towards the larger watches, but when you have non-diver watches, the dials look so much bigger. So I feel like I could go with a smaller case. Like in this circumstance, I think I would go maybe with the 40mm, just because it still presents even larger. I think I could wear that. And I like the pop of color. But I don't think you can get the Officer in the 40. There's only certain models you can get in the 40mm. You'll have to scroll through their website and take a look to see what they have. So if we reset that, and whoops, I had it running, sorry. It snaps back instantly. So you can see that, and then as this one's running around, actually this one's around, I'll stop this one. It just snaps back, instantly just snaps back. All right, let's kill the lights and check the lume on these guys and see what kind of performance they give us. So the 40mm looks like we have a really good application on the cathedral hands and a little bit lighter application on the Arabics. And then on the 44, kind of the same scenario, a little more real estate on the Arabics. And then on the 47 is the top dog performer here, just more real estate, I think, on the Arabics. So they're able to print it on a little bit better, but definitely a stronger application on the handset. You know what I forgot to mention is the price tags on the other two. So I told you $72.25 on the 47mm. The 44 is $7,025, and then the 40mm is $6,325. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Big thanks to Hannah for sending these in and Chris for arranging it. I'll see you guys on the next vid.